There's a decision that looks simple on paper, but heavy everywhere else. Do I sell the house or do I rent it and keep one foot in the life that I've built here? Most people never notice when that line gets crossed. They think they're choosing flexibility. They think they're keeping options open. What they're really doing is postponing a harder truth. I circled around this question for a long time, not because I didn't understand the numbers, but because I knew what selling would mean. The more I sat with it, the more I realized it wasn't just a real estate decision. And once you ask that question honestly, you can't unask it. It was a question about how much of my future I want to leave tethered to my past. Rent feels like a compromise. You keep the asset, you generate income, and you leave the door open. But doors that stay open always pull on you. Renting doesn't release you. It keeps you responsible. Maintenance, repairs, taxes, insurance, the call that comes at the wrong time from the wrong place. The house stays with you, even if you're not in it. And slowly, it begins to shape your decisions. This house is just not an asset. It's where life happened. This is where I raised my daughter. This is where ordinary days quietly became important ones. Where mornings started with school lunches and evenings ended with tired conversations. There's a door frame here where I marked her height as she grew. Small pencil lines at first, then taller ones. Then suddenly she was standing eye level with marks that I never thought she'd reach. I never erased them and I never painted over them because those lines are not measurements, they are time. They are proof that years passed while I was doing what parents do, working, providing, trying to do things the right way. Every room holds versions of us in quiet moments that mattered more than I realized at the time. This is why selling is hard. Renting feels tempting, but it feels like preservation, like leaving the door open enough so I can come back and touch the past. But memory doesn't live in these walls. It lives within us. Holding on to the house will not preserve these years. It'll only anchor me to them. And there's a difference about honoring a chapter of life and refusing to close it. There's also part of this decision that doesn't care about memory. It's hard math. In my case, renting the house would barely cover the base mortgage. It wouldn't cover the insurance, it wouldn't cover repairs, it wouldn't cover that phone call that comes late at night. And renting would mean renewing a mortgage again. Another multi-year commitment. From the outside, it can look like income, but from the inside, it looks like delay. This is not passive income, this is deferred responsibility. It's the illusion of flexibility while remaining fully attached. The house would not be working for me, I'd still be working for it, just from further away. Selling is often described as a clean option, simple and final, but it's neither. Selling means walking away from decades of memories and familiarity and knowing exactly how life works within these walls. And once you let go, there's no return to the same version of things. There's real risk here. What if the timing is wrong? What if I regret it? The fear of realizing that I gave up on something that I can never replace. Those fears are not imaginary and they deserve respect, but they're not the whole story. Selling also requires courage, not because it's reckless, but because it removes excuses. Once you sell, you can't blame the house, and you can't return to it, and you just move forward honestly. That's why selling feels heavier than renting. It demands more of you. It removes a fixed point that quietly pulls you back into old decisions. It removes the background hum of responsibility that never fully turns off. But it allows me to build an income strategy that moves with me, that supports the life ahead and not the life behind. It allows me the financial strategy that adapts, that's not fixed to one address. What selling really buys is alignment, the freedom to be fully present where I am instead of managing where I used to be. The answer didn't arrive in one dramatic moment. It arrived quietly when I asked the right question. Do I want to own the house or do I want it to own me? Once I framed it that way, renting stopped feeling neutral. It stopped feeling flexible. It started to feel like postponement, and postponement always has a cost. Sometimes the cost is money, and sometimes the cost is opportunity, and sometimes it's the slow erosion of honesty with yourself. And that's when the decision became clear. Not easy, but clear. This decision is not about right or wrong, it's about alignment. For some people, renting makes sense, but for the life that I'm stepping into, it does not. Letting go of this house doesn't mean I'm letting go of what happened here. Memories don't live in drywall and wood. Memories are meant to be carried forward. I'm choosing clean lines. I'm choosing to close one chapter in life and open another one fully. Not half open, not with conditions. Not because it's easy, but because it's honest. And honesty is what matters when you stop letting comfort quietly decide your decisions in life. If you like what you see here, and if this strikes a chord with you, follow along, subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.